Khepera. Thank you. Nia Khepera is a professional speaker, trainer, educator, writer, and empowerment coach. Nia is the founder and president of the Institute of Leadership and Educational Excellence, a nonprofit 501c3 organization that provides high-quality trainings and educational services to the public, charter and private schools, and nonprofit organizations. Nia has a master's degree in education, administration, and organizational leadership, and is a certified principal for the state of Texas for grades K through 12. She is the author of 4 books and has an online inspirational greeting card company, Khepera Creations. She has been happily married for 18 years to Nia Khepera, and they are the proud parents of 2 sons, Mian II and Jabari. With no further ado, I bring you our speaker.
Oh, how the motherland rejoices when her mothers and daughters unite. Girls and mothers, you are the treasures of Africa's most divine light. Rich is your blood, black and beautiful is your face. Each of you is the proud descendants of the African race. Like the first fruits of Kenya, you're the original seed of womankind. Let your love for one another flow like the Nile River has throughout the history of time. You see, when you understand your essence and the divinity that's within, not only will you live peacefully as mothers and daughters, but you'll also be the best of friends. Like Nefertiti, Sojourner, Garvey, and King, you need the faith and the courage and the strength to overcome the big and small things. And though our culture and heritage is important to understand, don't put your trust in the images of man. You see, before our ancestors could read and write, they knew the power of the unseen light. God dwelled with them as God dwells within each one of you. And so on this day, we bless all the mothers and daughters by saying, I do. Ashe, 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 and so it is.
All right.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Oh, we can do better than that. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
In respect to all those who are present, I greet you in various languages. In English, we say hello. In Spanish, we say hola. In French, we say bonjour. In Swahili, we say jumbo. In Chinese, we say ni hao. In Germany, we say guten tag. And in the hood, we say what it do, what it be, and what's up. I am so delighted to share this occasion with you. I want you to know that although this is your mother and daughter occasion for today, I am also celebrating my 44th birthday on today. So I could not think of a better way for me to share with you that which God has given to me. If we ask the question, why am I here? The fact that I'm here answers that for me, because it gives me an opportunity to connect with people and share some of the talents that God has blessed me with. Now, I am from the old school, and in the African tradition, it says before the young can speak, they must first get permission from the elders. Once again, I am 44 years of age. If there's an elder in the room that is older, or should I say wiser than I, if you would grant me permission to speak by saying you may. You may. You see, it's one thing for us to teach young children respect, but it's a whole different ballgame when that respect is actually demonstrated. Now, let me also add that there's a disclaimer to granting me permission to speak. You see, if there's anything that I say in my speech that you don't like or you disagree with, don't come see me afterwards. You must see the elders because they told me to speak. Check. Check. All right. Check simply means that you understand what I'm saying. I am so delighted to be able to share with the mothers and the daughters on this occasion. I know the theme is Dare to Dream. We're going to get into the rites of passage. It's certainly not enough time for me to go over all the different components because normally when I do this training, it's a 9-month training. And so what I've done is condensed a lot of information to say, what are some of the 3 things that I would want my daughter, although I do not have a daughter, but what is it that I want young ladies to know about themselves, and then even ladies in general as we step into the world, so that we step into the world with confidence and we step into the world knowing who we are. I once heard a person say that when you teach a man, you teach an individual, but when you teach a woman, you give birth to an entire nation. Let me say that again. When you teach a man, you teach an individual. But when you teach a woman, you give birth to an entire nation. The question is, what does that really mean? That means when you teach man, you teach him skill-wise. You teach him what to do, how to do. When you teach woman, because we are the co-creators with God, that only life comes through us, that we have the power, we have the influence to determine what our babies will look like. Mothers, this is what we have been tasked to do. Not only with our daughters, but also with our sons. Check? Check. And so now then, now that we know we are powerful beings, it doesn't get any more powerful when you co-create with God. There is absolutely no life on this earth that did not come through the womb of a woman. That fact alone should tell you just how much power you have. Check? Check. And so as we talk about rites of passage, what are some of the things that we would want our young ladies to know about who they are? I had some activities planned, but I know the hour is getting late, and so I just want you to talk back to me. Check? Check. One of the first things that we need to do is that we need to define who we are. Check? Check. We no longer have to allow the world or let the world define us who we are. We look at videos, we look at music, we look at things on TV, and they give you the image and tell us who you are or who you should be. Check? Check. And so when we talk about defining who we are, then you must do that first. I'm going to share a quick story with you. My name is Nia Khepera. Nia is Swahili. If you know anything about Kwanzaa, it's the fifth principle of Kwanzaa. But the name Nia means one created with a great purpose. My middle name is Ma'at. It's spelled M-A-A-T. It represents the principles of truth, justice, righteous, order, balance, reciprocity, and love, from which the 10 Commandments were derived. And my last name is Khepera. It means spiritual one. Now, I was not born with that name. My birth name was Tammy Louise Atkins. And remember now, we're talking about you defining yourself and not the world defining you. People say all the time, why did you change your name? I say, I'm not a Muslim. Not that anything is wrong with being a Muslim. I hadn't committed a crime, and I don't have bad credit. Check? Check. I changed my name simply because I wanted to restore my own African heritage. And prior to the birth of my first son 13 years ago, my husband and I wanted to give him a name that represented his African heritage as well as his spiritual purpose in life. And so now then, Nia, one created with a great purpose. That means that I have something to do. My aunt, representing truth, justice, balance, reciprocity, and love. That means when you see me, when you talk to me, when you engage me, I should represent those principles. Check? And then Khepera means spiritual one. The power to create. That means that I have the creativity to do the things that will allow me to create my own opportunities. A lot of us are without jobs. Been there, done that. Guess what? We're always looking for a job, but we need to be on the end of creating a job. This is part of the message that we need to give young people. When you and I were in school, the message was go to school, get a good job, or get good education so that you can get a good job with benefits. The message that we need to teach our young children today is go to school, acquire knowledge, so that you can create and own your own company. Think about it. Jerry Jones owns the Cowboys. Felix Jones is the running back for the Dallas Cowboys. Felix Jones makes about $2 million a year. Jerry Jones makes about $20 million per game. Which one do you want to teach your daughter to be the employee or the employer? And so our message to you young people is to go to school, get a good education. But in the sense of getting a good education, you're there to acquire knowledge so that one day you put yourself in a position where you can dance to your own drum beat. Check, check. So what are the kinds of things that we want our daughters to know? Number one, we want you to define yourself, because images shape our reality. What you see reflects what you think. What you think determines how you act and feel, and how you act and feel defines your character. Let's break that down. Images shape our reality. What kinds of images are in front of your daughter? What kind of images are you allowed to be digested and processed in her psyche? What is she watching on TV, online, iPads, iTunes? What is she listening to? And so as a mother, it is your responsibility to guard and what your daughter is intaking her, so that she won't be defined by the world, but she can begin to define and develop herself. Check? Check. Images shape your reality. Then we talk about how is it that we can be healthy beings? Physically, emotionally, mentally, and intellectually. How is it that we can walk in the world and we can be confident? And I especially say this to the young ladies who are darker hue, because some people tend to think just because you're light-skinned that you're smarter. Oh yeah, these are real issues. I've been in the classroom and I've seen teachers do that. And so we need to celebrate all children, but especially those of a darker hue who we don't think is as cute. This is real talk. This is not my weave hair. It's weave. Check. Check. My hair is long. I'm comfortable in my skin. I can tell you this. One of the biggest mistakes I ever did in my life was put a relaxer on my hair. When I was growing up, I was a cheerleader. I was the kind when it rained, my hair went boom. Everybody else had a relaxer, and it went down and straight. And my mother said, you never want to put chemicals on your hair. And so for the past 2 years, I've been growing it out. And so in summer, I will be rocking my fro. Check, check. It's all good. How is it that we can be comfortable with ourselves and still see ourselves as beautiful? I said that to say so that when you see the baby with hair that is of our natural texture, don't trip. Celebrate her. Talk to her. Find out what her goals, her dreams, her aspirations. She is just as beautiful as the child who has straight hair. Check? Check. So let's keep it real, because our children need to know that you are beautiful. And we mean that. We connect with your heart, not what appears on the outside. Check? And so we're talking about